Like obviously they went even as far back as like Togashi with Yu Hakusho. The ending
The
of
fourth
that.
season where he gets his demon powers is stupid. He didn't need
Um,
that.
and basically a common through line is the mangakas wanted to end them much earlier, but they were kind of,
Propping the series up.
for,
It's brought up in Bakuman, which I really appreciate.
like they were kind of like forced to continue it. Same with Kubo. And in the end, they're completely burnt out. They've got no like energy left, and the quality starts to go. And like you're on about even in Bleach, like the animation was like
Yeah. I
very
mean, his
subpar.
art style towards the end was really good, but but the anime though, it's so well done, and everybody's so happy for it. I'm like, you know what? I'm liking people getting more appreciated to Bleach
Yeah.
because it's fleshing out the bits that it never got round to before. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Centurion White Forest, I'm against.
Yeah, I think they were one they were using as an example was My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah,
like as
their
the
endings were garbage.
and it was like they kind of ended at a pretty close proximity to each other, so it just kind of like it really drew attention to
Well,
the problem.
Jujutsu ended in a way too soon. Its final battle lasted too long, but it didn't flesh out what needed to be fleshed out for that final battle. And Boku Hero was like, I'm going to be the greatest hero. Oh, wait, joke, no, I'm not. So stupid. Like, can you think of any that have ended really well?
I do think it's really different. I was always thinking,
I found one that ends well.
which one?
Full Metal Alchemist ends really well.
That does end well, but
I can't think of any others.
I don't even think that's quite. That's not even like full shonen. That's kind of like it is shonen, but it's
But it's different than standard shonen because it's got less fights, it's
yeah.
more
I think that's
psychological, and it's only got one canon waifu
yeah. It's
in
it's
Winry,
also
and
it's
it's fine.
yeah. It's also kind of because it's shorter. There's less room to get fucked over by power scaling.
I mean, I'll give the creator some credit. They've done quite a lot of work. Like Heroic Legend of Arslan did quite well.
Um, yeah, the Jujutsu Kaisen one.
Oh, that ending was fucking trash.
I always thought that series was gonna have like a really tough time making a satisfying
Yeah,
Gojo death
and they
because like
didn't.
I think it's like one of the hardest things to
They didn't
do
even
well.
need. It wasn't even that relevant for him to even need to die. It was
Yeah,
fine. He didn't even need to fight the final boss. It should have been Yuji doing it the entire time, and he just doesn't. Yuji doesn't win that final fight. Yuta does it for him.
it's like the build up through the entire thing is like how good Gojo is.
And
So
he
if
is.
you
He was
don't,
literally invincible.
so if you don't like,
Sukuna had to cheat to win.
if you don't like stick the landing, it feels almost like it was all for nothing. Like all the build up was like all a lie, or it was like all the investment in how strong he is. It feels betrayed. It's like I feel like that is such a hard ending to do satisfyingly.
Yeah.
I don't
Shonen
know,
rarely end well.
but I don't know.
Like Reborn, one of my
Mm,
favourite shonen ever. Its ending is absolute dog shit. No, he goes through 300 chapters of getting, becoming a better person and a better character, starting to believe in himself, for right at the final chapter for him to go, well, no, he's just the same as he was when he was a kid. Chucking out 300 chapters of growth for no reason.
How
Horrible.
how do you think they could have done it then with Sukuna? Because like, would you have made Sukuna? Because
Well, he
the
needed to
standard.
clash with Yuji, which he didn't. It should have been Yuji got more powerful by being by being in influence with him. Which and Sukuna's not dead by the end, by the way. He's still alive. If you didn't know.
I didn't.
Yeah, he survives.
I think part of it was weird because it almost didn't even feel like Yuji was the main character.
No, it wasn't. It was just Gojo. They should have made Yuji, like, all they had to do was get to a certain point, Yuji loses against Sukuna, a little bit of a time skip where he trains with his people, he learns some Sukuna skills, and then they go against each other. He can fight against that guy, they can fight against Sukuna, then Sukuna's lieutenants, like Nobara, the hammer lady, inexplicably survived randomly somehow and doesn't do anything the entire series. It's really,
Yeah,
it's so much wasted potential. It's unbelievable.
yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's. I wonder if Gojo was meant to be the main character from the beginning, or if after like the first 30%, it was like actually Gojo's so
I mean,
popular.
do they not realise how screwed that world is without Gojo? Like, his whole existence made the world stronger, and without him, no one else is going to be able to stop bigger threats. They have Maki and Yuji, that's it.
Yeah, but do you think if you do that, like they can't stop bigger threats, but you also don't need to make bigger threats?
Well, the sequel baited it, but I don't think it'll be getting a sequel.
Sequel?
Yeah. The sequel baited it. Because Sukuna's not dead at the end.
Yeah.
But it's also, that's not how it should have ended. It should have had at least a good 30 chapters more to at least flesh out stuff. It just feels incomplete. I mean, to be fair, Bleach's ending, where it showed his little kid being basically a god, that was really incomplete too.
I always find those epilogues jarring when you skip forward 20 years and you see the future. I always find those really like.
Sometimes they can feel like a cop-out ending, but I think that's generally how some shonen end, because it makes it feel more finished for some reason. So in this field, I only really need to get rid of SP and Rakela. Cool.
And the big link a problem.
Only for fire monsters destroyed it, and they won't be.
Oh, okay.
Have a lava golem. I mean, I can't kill him this turn, but I'll certainly freaking try. Yeah, that is like the big problem with shonen right now, though. They just don't. feel right.
Do you think it was kind of like maybe too many characters in JJK?
I don't think it had enough. Like,
Really?
its
'Cause
main characters weren't used very well, but its side characters were only brought in because the main characters were terrible.
well,
Like,
I
Nobara
thought
should have been able to do something.
like the reason I say if it's too many characters is because it feels like Megami and Nobara kind
They're
of
just there.
they're just kind of like you know they became like 10-10 in like Shippuden or something. I don't know. Like, because when you start the series, you're thinking, okay, Megami and Nobara are like like equal part with Yuji in the story, and they almost just become like completely irrelevant. It's
Like,
like, what
the
was the,
the guy who
why
can
were
mold
they?
souls is a better villain than Sukuna at the end. By far.
I don't know. It's like obviously because you start adding other characters in, like you take screen time and development away from them.
Well, they should have had the screen time that those side characters had. Like, the invincibility guy, they didn't need to bring him in.
And it was kind of like the whole reason Gojo had was like trying to bring along the next gen and make the next crop
Yeah, they didn't even need to
strong.
make him lose. They just don't make him fight the final boss. Like, Rurouni Kenshin, for example, introduces Kenshin's master, who's stated by the creator to be so powerful that if he was in any of the battles, he would have immediately won it. And you know what? He didn't make him do them fights.
You would have
He let
found
Kenshin
it.
do it. It was fine.
Would you have found it like a cop out though if they didn't have Gojo versus Sukuna?
I mean, they could have done it, but it could have been Sukuna lost because he didn't have all the power, all the 10 fingers, and was repelled, and then just Gojo inexplicably just doesn't fight him again.
Hmm. This is why I.
Because it really annoys me that Yuji does nothing. Like,
Yeah.
even as far as other shonen protagonists, Yuji basically has no personality, like, at all.
Is there a way
Hello,
to
Firewall,
have
good
a
sir.
bonjour? Is there a way
Like,
to
Genji has
have
more of a personality, and he's garbage.
it? Is there a way to have a Gojo in a series without him being more important than the protagonist?
Right? You could just make him be sort of sealed away somewhere where he can't escape, but people can visit him and he just teaches people. Or he passes on some aspects of infinity to people. Because he is way too powerful for that series, but for him to fight the final boss and for the main character not to do it is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I'm not sure which came. I don't know, if it's like the chicken or the egg, which came first. Was Gojo the main character, so Yuji stopped developing, or was Yuji so useless that Gojo had to be the main
Okay, I
character? Or
think,
which came,
since
which
it's
came first?
ongoing, he was thinking of something for Yuji to do, but then Sukuna was way more popular and just went with that.
Yeah, I think it was probably that as well. I feel like
Because I was so
because they do
hyped because Nobara had such a great personality, and you're thinking, oh, she's going to be a really good main character, and it's not.
yeah, I thought that like that's why I was so kind of like taken aback at how the
Really hyped.
direction went with it. Um, yeah, I don't know, because they do like popularity polls, don't they, and stuff.
Of course I do.
So I bet they would have been able to tell that Yuji was not nearly as popular as
They could have
Sukuna and
fleshed him
Gojo.
out so well. Like when he figured out his origin and stuff, and then just completely ignored it.
I thought his goal to give people a good death was so shit.
Yeah, like when when you figure out how he was born and stuff, and you think of all the context behind what could have been, and it's just nah, we're just gonna not give him any more screen time now. Really annoying.
Also, the the part where they're going to like Gojo's backstory,
I did like Gojo's backstory; it was pretty good.
but like that whole part feels like it's shifting the story away from Yuji.
Yeah, Yuji basically has no backstory. Every
And
character has a better backstory than he does.
but once you see that whole like kind of arc, it's hard to feel like the story never really went back to Yuji after that. It was kind of like, I don't know.
I know exactly what you mean.
It was almost like Gojo was just so much more interesting now that it's like Yuji is never catching up. There's never gonna
Like they didn't do anything cool with like Megumi inheriting some aspects of his dad's skills.
yeah.
His 10 familiars that didn't do anything, because it states when they die, they're permanently lost, but all the others get stronger, and never went anywhere with it.
Yeah, Megami was weird. It was like,
So, Firewall, for context, we're trying to think of series that are basically like shonen series that actually end well, and there's basically none.
yeah, because My Hero Academia
It's
and
garbage.
Jujutsu Kaisen recently had pretty bad endings despite really popular runs.
Like, really popular runs, like, amazingly popular.
I hope One Piece does it well.
One Piece has Oda, and he is like a god at that. Like Oda has, he does like things that are shown 200 chapters later, and he still follows up on them. Shaman King's ending was a bit controversial at the time, but they did make Hao so powerful that they had to do that for him to lose. And even then, Hao doesn't really lose. He just kind of just lets humanity live. But yeah, Shaman King's was way better than a lot of the others.
How did the Gundam series end?
Gundam Wing was absolutely garbage. Do you want to know how Gundam Wing ends in the movie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They blow up the Gundams to protect, so they're not used in war anymore. And then the final title card is, and war with mobile suits never happened again. And then it ends. In a world that is basically propped up on the mass production of mobile suits and war with mobile suits, it just goes, nah, they're not using them anymore. Double O. That's also a controversial ending. But you might actually watch that one, so I'm not going to spoil that. Which from Mercury's fine. Iron Blood's fine. Yeah, the others aren't too bad, to be fair. I don't mind any of the other endings. Like, the whole Shaman King thing was, Hao was so powerful that they couldn't win. They just had to convince him not to win and kill everybody. Because he didn't really want to destroy everybody, he just was hung up on his mother's death and blamed humans for it.
You were on about you don't like or that you
Well, that which bit?
uh, that you like non-sympathetic villains.
I do like evil villains, yes.
So
I'm a
that's
massive fan of evil villains.
that's kind of like the cool thing about Sukuna. He's
He's affably
unapologetic.
evil.
Yeah, whereas how you kind of like it's
Over
set up
time, you
to
learn about him, and you
feel
can, yeah.
sympathy for him. It's like, but Sukuna, you kind of just like revel in the hating him.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't even hate him. I wanted him to win. Well, that is also just because Yuji is absolutely garbage. I don't think I've seen a protagonist so lame for the sake of being lame in my life. He had to SP and negate and banish his own cards. Oh no, what a shame. I can't be targeted. What are you doing? Shame. One retro dragon. Yeah, I'm building red eyes right now, by the way. I'm going to try it out tomorrow. I don't know how well it'll do, but I'll try it. Jujutsu Kaisen started really well. It set the tone of being really good, and that's all it did. It did not stick the landing. I am not running Serial Spell. I'm using Primite. I'm playing Primite Red Eyes. Just to see if it works. I mean, it might do, it might not. I mean, Primite's supposed to be better in Blue Eyes than anything else, but it should be fine. I'll just swing for some damage. There you go. Get rid of SP. 3-card FTK. Red Eyes can't FTK. I need one rolling. I think I've got a Relinquish Animal already. 2 baby dragons probably fine. Just gonna quickly cycle through these cards before I start the next game. How many Meteor Dragon do I have? 2. I can probably stick with 2. And I need my actual vanilla Red Eyes. 1 return of Red Eyes. And that is basically done. I don't know how many cards it is, though. I'll unsleeve them in a second. I've had to add a couple of proxies to it. Because I couldn't... Well, I refused to find a common. So I just don't have it.
Because it took too long.
Yeah. And I'm not playing Dark Magician, so I'm playing the Dark Exile Fusion instead. Yeah, you're right though. A lot of shows can't keep up with the hype, but a lot of older ones did. So I don't know if they've just changed the writing and they just aren't as good now.
Is that rose tinted glasses though? Like, is that nostalgia?
Oh, it will be. But
I
when
can't
you think of like
remember.
the biggest ones, like Demon Slayer, that I mean, it ended okay. But getting there was horrible. They missed loads of plot points. Attack on Titan was so bad, the creator had to rewrite the ending.
I guess the only thing you can say about Demon Slayer is it didn't get dragged out.
No, it was very normy. It brought in a lot of new fans. That's fine.
Yeah, very very enormous.
But
And
when
you
but
can
when it
tell.
introduces a mechanic of we need to cure Nezuko, and then towards the end is we could have cured her the entire time, we just didn't want to. I mean, I'm also annoyed that they shafted the lightning user and made him pathetic. I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah. Another thing I've been looking at recently is how time skips are used.
I like a good time skip. They can be done really well. Not like Naruto's, because that was garbage.
Because they're even done in video games, like Fire Emblem's got a couple time skips.
I love Three Houses as time skip. I thought it was really good. Mind you, I really do like Three Houses in general, so. Anti-spell. That's fine. Literal doesn't matter to me, so.
Isn't that a one-off now?
Yeah, I think so.
What a random...
I'll put my kaiju back. Summon this. That's set 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about Firewall, but the reason I'm conflicted is because, like,
They're
I
allowed to
saw...
master a technique off screen so long as they show vaguely how it's done and show how the technique's used. I think I'm fine with that.
I saw a thing about how, like, the Shippuden time skip,
Horrible.
basically, Naruto went away for 3 years and came back having learned almost nothing. Like, when he first is in Shippuden and then they meet Sasuke, and Sasuke's
Just
developed.
manhandles him, basically.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely manhandles him.
is there with Sai, Sakura, and Yamato, and he just, like, murks all of them and could have like just straight up stabbed Naruto, and Naruto is literally just there, useless. It's like, what has he done in 3 years?
He learned a bigger Rasengan.
It's like, how do you handle what you show off screen? Because, like Firewall said, he didn't want to see stuff going off screen, but like Naruto didn't do anything in his time skip, and then he spends like half of Shippuden getting training.
No. He spends half of Shippuden trying to cut a waterfall.
But
That
like,
could have been done off screen.
the time. Why didn't the time skip do all that shit? And
Honestly, it should have.
like, why did he only do that when he came back to the village? When
No, you're completely right.
Sasuke went away, trained for 3 years, learnt a load of shit. Naruto went away, did nothing, came back, and then starts his training. It's like, what was the point in the time? It's like, it's like we had a time skip, but we're still going to see Naruto's entire training arc. Hmm. You didn't see much training arc in the One Piece time skip, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
It showed you how all of them trained, but not what they learned. Because then you learn that over time. Like, it shows who trained which character, and vaguely what techniques they could potentially learn, and then after the time skip, it shows what they learned then. Like, Luffy learned Gear 4, that entire thing, and all his new techniques. And it showed you him showed you them at the time he needed to use them. And it's like, yeah, he learned them. I'm like, you know what? Fine with that. I think it was done pretty well.
So I guess another thing we could discuss is like growth rates, because you could say some characters have better growth rates than others, like how Sasuke is more like technically prodigious than Naruto, so he excelled much quicker in the 3 years.
Yeah, I got into another internet rant about Naruto recently, so it burned into my mind.
Like the One Piece cast, did all of them grow at the same rate?
It states who's in the top of the hierarchy and who's where, and they even after they've trained, they're still in that order. Like, the human trio is at the bottom,
yeah,
and will always be at the bottom, and the monster trio will always be at the top. And they basically acquire skills based on where they are in that trio, from what I remember.
So they do kind of grow at the same rate then, because they stay in the same order.
Yeah. Like, Usopp and Nami will always be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, always. There's no reason they will not always be at the bottom. Chopper fluctuates a bit. Robin is always standard. Frankie is as strong as his inspiration lets him be with his mecha body. And the top three is always Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro.
Sanji and Zoro are not considered human.
They're called the Monster Trio in the series. Sanji is technically not human, no. It's part of his backstory.
I have not seen that part of his backstory. I have only seen the starving.
I mean, I can tell you about it if you want.
Yeah, please.
Right, so Sanji was born into a noble family. As you know of One Piece, they are all douches. And he is basically the head of a genetic group who tries to make the strongest genetic children. And he has five children. Sanji meaning, San meaning 5. So he's got Ichiji, Sanji, Yonji, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They all have Power Rangers suits, by the way. But Sanji doesn't develop the superpowers because his mother messes with it. And then he's kicked out of his family, and that's how he ends up on the boat at the beginning. But then he has to go back later on. And when he does eventually fight against his family, he gets his suit. And when he activates it, it gives him his latent superhuman powers back.
You think Oda planned that from the beginning or added it?
I don't know. He did Zoro's backstory in the latest one. But I actually like Sanji's backstory. I think it's quite nice. Because he does a lot of growth.
I suppose, at the very least, you could say he left it open for him to add later. Like, he did the starving way. Zeph. But he also...
Zeph is arguably an actual father to him than his actual father because he's an asshole.
But he also left it, possible for him to add to it later, which he did.
Yeah.
He kind of left the door open.
Like how he got onto the boat and... As the Firewall says here, in Avatar, Katara can bloodbend, and if there was a time skip and she was a master of it, randomly, how would we feel? I'm like, it states in original Avatar that you have to basically experiment on living creatures, so I don't think Katara would be doing that, but it would be kind of annoying, to be fair. But I'd be alright with not showing it on screen if it's, like, super boring. Because, like, showing Naruto cut a waterfall for 6 episodes, he could have just done that in 1 and just went, oh, by the way, if you use shadow clones, it's faster. And then once he learns it will be, oh, well, he use them, didn't he?
Or what about the 6 episodes before that where he's cutting a leaf?
It's not like the Rasengan, which needed certain steps, like put it onto one point, spin it away, spin it one way, spin it the other way. That's fine, but it's just, can you cut it yet? for 5 full episodes.
I feel like in the beginning, I kind of liked the Land of Waves training where they were trying to walk up a tree.
That was fine. I like that.
But seeing 1,000 shadow clones trying to cut a leaf in half, like, we've taken the piss a bit now.
Like, even Sage training was more interesting. Because it states that if he gets it wrong, he'll turn into a statue. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. It's the equivalent of watching Goku charge up a spirit bomb for 7 episodes.
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Oh, I wish I did. Trust me, I wish I did. Let's just say I was not a huge fan of that. Need that. Yugioh dragons, I need these. I think that should be 15. Right, so what we got here? Ignore the actual logistics of the character for a minute and concentrate on the time skip.
No, I don't know.
To an extent, yeah, I'd be fine with it.
Is it a time skip issue though? Because I think what you said makes a lot of sense. Like, it's more of a moral issue at that point. Like,
even if it was a time skip thing, I'd be fine with it so long as eventually it shows little random bits of backstory or just statements about how hard it was or what they did.
I completely lost track of time.
Everyone loses track of time, it's fine.
I was playing Pixelmon on the server I've been playing on, and
It's fine.
I just completely lost track of time.
It's not like we're doing anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
do you think it kills the hype reveal though of the suspense? Like, you don't know what they've learned. They don't get to, like, shock you with the
It also depends on the length of time skips too. As to what they can learn and who they're learning it from, if at all. Like, it's believable to me that Sasuke got that strong by learning from Orochimaru. And it's believable that Luffy learned all that from Rayleigh. That's fine. But for Naruto to learn from Jiraiya, who is supposedly really powerful, and not get anywhere.
Well, that's kind of part of the problem with it, because he specifically went away with Jiraiya because Jiraiya is a better trainer than Kakashi would be.
Well, keep in mind too, Naruto was gone for like 5 years.
3.
Yeah, 3.
But
it's like the whole reason they did the Jiraiya one-on-one training thing is because he's meant to be better than what he would have been able to accomplish with Kakashi. But he comes back having learned nothing, and then Kakashi trains him.
Okay, so here's a question. Was Jiraiya always supposed to be fodder? Because even when he fights, he doesn't seem that strong at all.
No, basically what it is, how Jiraiya's fight style was that he would sit there and let you think that he didn't know what was going on or what he was doing and all that stuff, then he'd come back and whoop your ass.
Yeah, but that wasn't even shown. It was just stated, it wasn't even shown. He has one on-screen fight before the fight against Pain. And he would have lost that because Itachi would have beaten him.
Well, also keep in mind, and they've confirmed this, by the way. This is confirmed. One of the reasons why Naruto was able to fight so well before he lost Kurama was because Kurama's chi pool. It basically their
Chakra.
I'm trying to think. Chakra, thank you.
What really annoys me is like
Well,
they could have done that time skip so much better.
And then keep in mind too, Naruto is a descendant of the first Hokage, so hence why
But he's a descendant from God.
Well, not just that, the first Hokage as well. He's a descendant of the first Hokage, hence why he was able to pick up learning how to use wood-style sage jutsu after he lost Kurama. Which I thought
that was because of his god blood, from what I remember.
I do like, though, how his daughter became the new Jinchuriki, though. That was really interesting.
Like, would it not have been just infinitely more interesting if, for the time skip, he learned how to use Kurama at all?
Well, keep in mind, at that time, he knew Kurama was sealed in him, but he didn't know how to talk to him until Killer B was like, hey,
that was brought up later. If he'd have thought of it at the beginning, and the time skip was based around that, or, for example, he does train as normal like Jiraiya, but then over Shippuden, he learns how to use that power and not just randomly towards the end gains access to all of it. And he slowly learns it over time, like, oh, he can now access one tail mode for a while without losing his mind. And then it just keeps upgrading. And then he would have been the chakra user, because Sakura's the punch user, Sasuke's the genjutsu guy, and he would be the ninjutsu guy. And they just don't.
No, you forget, Brad. Sakura is the genjutsu prodigy.
Don't even get me started on that garbage.
That was her plot point in the survival.
She can see through genjutsu thanks to the training she got from Tsunade, but that's the only reason she can do it.
No, it was stated in like the third episode, like by Kakashi, that Sakura is like a prodigy level genjutsu natural, and it is never mentioned again after that.
Okay, here's a fun one. Why isn't everybody taught the 8 gates? Do you know how useful just randomly gaining double chakra for a while is?
But also keep in mind, though, with the 8 gates ninjutsu, it has its drawbacks. Keep in mind, Guy straight up lost like the ability to use.
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to use all 8 though. Just release 1 or 2, like Lee does. Every ninja can use that. They just don't.
Something I'm really confused about, whether it was lost in translation or something in the dub, is how the term forbidden technique and forbidden jutsu, they are known by genin, but they're not allowed. Like, Rock Lee learns the Hidden Lotus, and it is specifically said to be forbidden.
Why?
It's
not even that powerful. Like, in the whole scheme of the world, a jutsu that can only be used on one ninja is terrible.
Yeah, but why? Is it a translation thing? Where
I think so,
It's literally called forbidden. But
I think their definition of forbidden is different than how we would describe forbidden.
Because they also do it in the first episode with Naruto learning Shadow Cones, where the Shadow Cone is in a scroll that is forbidden. And it's like...
Well, but everybody already knows it.
And it's like a crime that Naruto stole the scroll.
No. Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu is a forbidden jutsu.
Why?
Kakashi
has it.
Huh?
Kakashi has it.
Right, but that's because he copied it from Naruto and now he can use it. But also keep in mind, a lot of the laws of the world don't really apply to Kakashi because he's former Anbu Black Ops. So
they never state.
There's a lot of lore that they've released over the years that's like
really stupid. Yes.
There's a lot of lore over the years they've released and it wasn't talked about in the shows. And they talk
Kishimoto
about it
can't
more,
write at all.
and they talk about this stuff more in Boruto, but yeah.
Yes, I agree now. I totally agree, Firewall. Neji was right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go through an entire bit of, fate doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what you were born into, and then right at the end it goes, by the way, I'm a reincarnation of the son of a god, so I can do what I want.
So it actually is all about that.
And all the people who hype up how powerful his dad is like, like, yes, he is fast. Well, it's not even fast. Teleportation's different, but he has to set up Shuriken. If he can't do that, what good is he?
It's basically they went back and they explained this more in the like the creators of Naruto went back and explained this more. His chakra is kind of, or his like shuriken, the little teleportation deal, is more or less a form of substitution jutsu in a way.
Don't get me started on substitution jutsu.
Can we explain how ridiculously overpowered substitution jutsu is?
Yes, but keep also, and they've even explained this once again, something they explained outside the manga. Substitution jutsu takes a lot of chakra to perform.
It can't. Sakura has like none, and she spams it during the Forest of Death like 9 times in a row.
Yeah, do you remember how it was introduced into the series in the training exam, like episode 5, where Sasuke was... can't be asked.
Who did it 9 times?
Sorry. Sakura. She spams it in the Forest of Death right at the beginning.
Keep in mind, Sakura has a massive chakra pool.
Oh, she doesn't. Her parents aren't ninja.
She has a massive chakra pool, which is why Tsunade actually was training her.
I thought it was just because she was a healer. It's never really stated she has a massive chakra pool.
No. She has a massive chakra pool like Tsunade. And to the point where Tsunade actually has to store some of her chakra in her forehead, I believe is how it goes.
In a while.
5 days. Or praying.
No other user decides to use substitution considering how powerful it is. It's stupid.
I agree, but at the same time, substitution jutsu is one of those things that takes a lot of chakra to perform. And the reason why Sakura can do it so much...
I'll have to research it. I don't think it does. It's been a while.
Well, there's a reason it's limited in a lot of stuff. Like,
it's because he forgot about it.
Huh?
It's because Kishimoto forgot about it.
That too, but they try to write it off as, it takes a lot of chakra to perform.
Yeah, but towards the end, chakra doesn't mean anything. As during the final battle, Naruto gives 2,000 people 4 times the whole power, the entire chakra of Kakashi.
Yeah, that's because he had help from Kurama, though. Because Kurama was able to, basically, Naruto infused his chakra with Kurama, and together they were able to basically put everyone in a...
Yeah, I still don't think that should have been a thing.
They were able to put everyone in a pseudo One-Tails form, basically.
I still don't think that should have been a thing.
But no, after Naruto loses Kurama, he actually learns wood-style jutsu, sage jutsu, from the guy who took over training them after Kakashi.
To be fair, he should have always had those. He relied on Kurama way too much. Like, he needs to learn actual jutsu.
Well, he can actually go into Sage mode now as well. He can actually go into Sage mode.
He could have originally, he just didn't.
He can go into wood Sage mode now.
He's still going to lose because it's called Boruto. He's not going to have any major fights.
Well, they just revived Kurama in the anime. In Boruto, they just revived him. So, everyone's looking to see where that's going to go. People who read the manga already know that his daughter's going to become the next perfect Jinchuriki for the Nine Tails.
I mean, it's still on hiatus, I believe, so we won't find out for a while.
No, in the manga, they've gotten that far.
It's on hiatus now, I think, though.
They're taking a break from the manga, yeah.
I'm sick of looking at Boruto stuff because of the power scaling guys of, well, Damon can do all this. I'm like, no, he can't.
It's stupid though how like in the manga, Kawaki just likes, I want your family, and then brainwashes the whole world.
But Ada does, yeah.
Naruto.
That shouldn't be a thing. Then you have a character who is, so long as I'm touching you, I can reflect all damage ever. That shouldn't be a thing either, because people are scaling him to be so powerful, but they have to realize he has to lose. He's a villain. It's going to be the Gojo thing all over again. Damon is so unbelievably overpowered.
But somehow Sasuke doesn't forget about him, because like somehow at the time he got back his one of his like his Sharingan he lost and all that stuff.
All Sasuke does for Shippuden, for Boruto, is be the convenient transportation tool to teleport people around. That's all he does.
But and that's true.
It's terrible.
I'll agree with you on that one. I'll agree with you on that.
But it's not something I'm going to watch anyway, because towards the end, Naruto got too convoluted for me, and I lost my like for it.
But like somehow Sasuke doesn't like wind up losing his like basically. He doesn't wind up like somehow he gets his Sharingan back, and his I can't think of what it's called. It's the purple Sharingan. Rinnegan, thank you. Somehow he gets his Rinnegan back, and he had the Rinnegan active because he was in a battle or something like that.
Right.
And so when Kawaki does this massive jutsu to make everyone forget all about Baruto, like he basically just like sees through it, and like him apparently in the manga, him and Baruto go like on a 10-year training arc or something like that. Like with skips. There are skips in it, but it's interesting.
There's a lot of things in that series that just annoy me, which is why we got into an internet rant again.
I like the modernization because, like, in Naruto, it was basically a steampunk era almost, Then then Baruto, it's like modernized, early, like late 1980s kind of thing,
Yeah, I'm going to say a very controversial thing, okay? Naruto did not work hard to become the Hokage at all. He put in no effort at all. It was given to him at the end.
The only reason he got it was because he was the hero of the war. That was literally the only reason.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have even got it then. Because the Hokage's around using, like, social skills, interacting with people, paperwork. He sucks at everything.
And then he goes out there with the shadow clones to, like, do all that stuff, yeah. He's an awful dad, too. I will say that. He's an awful parent. 10 out of 10 will say that.
Like, Asta from Black Clover puts in more effort to become Wizard King than Naruto does to become Hokage.
He's a nomad, so...
No, he actually puts effort in by getting the people on his side. Naruto doesn't do that. He's just a joker asshole from the beginning of Chapter 1.
He is.
That's not how you get people to like you. And then it goes, but he didn't have any friends. Yeah, he did. He had Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba the entire time. No matter what they say, they was always there for him.
Yeah. He has best friends, Then Sasuke, who basically becomes like a brother to him.
I didn't draw a single damn monster that. I just class Naruto right now just as last thing to mention on it, just as wasted potential. There's so much they could have done that he just didn't because he can't write. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen didn't do any better, really. But yeah, because this topic was started off with us and Firewall discussing what series ended well. Like, the only one I can thought of that actually ended well was Full Metal Alchemist, and I can't think of any others.
Oh shit! Slime Rancher 2 got an update.
Ooh.
And it's actually going more into the story of who actually summoned her to Rainbow Island. Awesome. Look forward to playing that tomorrow. I don't know, I might stream that.
What series ends well? I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna scroll down a list and have a see.
Let me think.
I honestly can't think of any.
I can think of a few. Just give me a second. Let me pull up my Crunchyroll. Give me a second. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail ended kind of meh though.
No, the fight against Acnology was garbage.
Yes, 10 out of 10 will agree with that.
I defeated the dragon who can eat all magic and is immune to all magic with magic.
And I didn't like how Natsu wound up being whatever the world-ending dragon was.
Actually, Seven Deadly Sins ended okay.
Yes, that Seven Deadly Sins ended good.
That was fine. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it wasn't offensive.
Sword Art Online Alicization kind of ended on a cliffhanger. Sword Art Online, the original series though, that ended. You can't say that didn't end good.
I mean, the problem it has was it needed to stretch the 13 episodes into 26.
Yeah.
Aincrad should have been the whole 26.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Knights of Sidonia.
The anime or the manga?
Anime.
That ended okay. The manga was a bit off.
Yes.
It certainly was not amazing. I liked Bleach's ending. It was rushed, but it ended fairly well.
Yeah, and now they're doing the actual manga and not just doing all that. We're going to write these animes for stuff and not actually finish the anime, you know?
I'm just scrolling
Voltron had a really good ending.
Arguably.
Digimon Adventure Try, another one. Digimon Adventure Try had a really good wrap up ending to it, even though
it was fine.
Agumon and Gabumon died, like they died.
Oh, Buso Rankin, that had a good ending. Carry on.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's another one.
God, the sky is still going.
Overlord had a really good ending to it.
I mean, it's still ongoing, but its ending was fine.
Yes, in the manga. Yes, in the manga. I'm talking about the manga because the manga ended recently.
The light novel will not end well because he really gets dark towards the end.
Gargantia. That was another good one that ended very well.
D. Grey Man. Did that end well?
There was a lot of episodes that weren't transferred over to the States, so I can't answer that one very well, because there's a lot of episodes. Like, there was like 4 seasons.
Yeah, and then D. Grey Man Hallow is only 13.
Yeah. So, like, the first and the last season were brought over to the States, but everything in between was not.
I vaguely remember it being okay.
Yeah. Dragonaut.
Oh, Dragonaut was quality.
Dragonaut Resonance was quality, yes. Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, that had another good ending, too. It was kind of stupid how the main character wound up being the one girl summoned, but they wound up wrapping it up to make sense in a way.
It makes sense with all the subtle nods throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, but the only thing I didn't like is there's like, oh, I'm you from the future. I'm like, huh.
They fixed that in Heaven's Feel.
Mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't decide to try and kill himself because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't have... His entire goal would not have worked.
Berserk.
I don't know. Are we talking about the CG one? Because the CG one was terrible.
No, I'm talking about the original.
Berserk will never end, unfortunately, but I really do love that series.
God Eater.
Fine. I just can't think of many that, fully ended their entire run, the story from beginning to end, that just is good and just ends.
Um,
Fire Forces was pretty good.
Hey, Irregular at Magic High.
Yeah, that was alright. I think Fire Forces was fine.
Yeah, Fire Force was also okay.
That's getting a season 3 next month.
Yeah,
Next year.
I know. Attack on Titan was meh.
Its ending was horrible.
It was.
Like, he basically denounced Mikasa's whole future family to suffering because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Ooh, Castlevania, yes.
Yes, that is another good
That is a okay, I'll give that one Firewall. Yeah, that did end. That was good.
Shield Hero's ongoing, so we can't really say anything about that.
I've actually read the actual ending of the novel. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Because it's one of my 4 favorite light novels.
Hey, Blue Exorcist. The original, not the sequel series, the original series.
The original with the 5 final episodes that were made up, you mean?
Fair enough. Hey, Promise Neverland.
The anime, yes. The manga, no.
Just assume I mean the anime right now.
Oh, so we'll just discuss animes, okay?
Mm. Persona.
That was based on the game. It was expected to end fairly well.
Yeah. Honestly, God, most of the Fate Stay animes have pretty solid endings on them, to be honest. Oh, well, we're forgetting about the one good guy that we always talk about, Code Geass.
Are we talking season 1 or the movie?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because the movie was meh. Season 1 was real good, though.
Seasons 1 and 2 are great, but the movie ends Lelouch's story with him becoming L2 really well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I did enjoy Rose of the Count, the Rose one. That was alright. The ending was a bit how you'd expect it to be.
What was the movie that takes place where it was the 2 childhood friends? It was not a movie, it's anime, where it's a vampire-infested world and they get rescued, but the friend winds up staying behind and becoming the vampire king.
That is Seraph of the End.
That's what it was, yep.
Where the main character has the Angel of Salt.
Yeah, that one was okay.
It was fine. It was okay, yeah.
I'm not going to say it was good. I'm just saying it was okay.
Yeah, it dragged for a bit. It was okay.
It did drag, yes. Have you watched Demon Lord 2099 yet?
No, I usually wait for those to get finished. So if I do enjoy it, I'll read them all. I'll watch them all.
Fair enough. I mean, Era Ferretta in the season 1, that was pretty solid.
It's one of my favorite light novels. It is solid. It's just season 1 cut out a hell of a lot of content.
Yeah, but keep in mind, in seasons 2 and 3, they're sticking closer to the manga now than anything else. They're sticking very close to the mangas, which is why seasons 2 and 3 haven't really put out as much content, as well as story-wise.
They've only just introduced his vague relationship with the best girl. So next couple of episodes are going to be good for me.
Yeah, it just one thing that was interesting to me was he's just like, oh, now I have 2 wives. I'm like, what?
I mean, he does end with like 8 of them.
Fair enough.
Not the most I've seen, but he does have like 8 of them.
Yeah. Oh, what was the name of that show where the guy had really bad luck and he wound up joining the space police? Oh, what was the name of that one? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I can't remember its name though. I do remember that one. Right, so I want both of your opinions on this if Firewall's still here, right? I don't like reincarnated as a slime because the slime hero doesn't struggle at all.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's got a solid storyline.
Yeah, but he doesn't work towards his power like Spider Lady does.
Yeah,
I appreciate her a lot more.
Keep in mind, that's how a lot of reincarnation animes are going. That's the route they're going these days.
Oh my god!
You know, so you really can't say nothing.
Sorry, that is a really jank deck I'm dueling against.
Tenchi Muyo GXP is what it's called. Honestly, a lot of the Tenchi Muyo shows in general have a lot of solid endings.
Go that Firewall, Mountain Kyberman, and Malefic Blue Eyes.
I mean, that's my solid opinion on that, at least.
So what I was thinking about the slime thing is, what do you think about protagonists that just don't struggle to get their powers?
Okay, one anime I'm actually waiting to get a second season is Trapped in a Dating Sim, the World of Otome games and stuff for mobs.
I've been reading the light novel. It's amazing.
Is it as good? Is he just like a sarcastic son of a bitch like he has been in the anime?
He is a sarcastic son of a bitch all throughout all of them.
That's funny. Like, I remember watching the first season and just dying laughing the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, this is how the MC is supposed to be in these types of situations, you know? Not like, oh, I'm going to become overpowered, you know? No, he's overpowered because you work towards it.
He is overpowered, and he loves being overpowered and rubs it in everybody's face like he is overpowered.
Yes. Exactly. Not like in these other animes where they're like, oh, I don't know where that spell came from. Where'd it come from, guys? Kind of thing, you know?
No, he is like, I have this that can craft infinite money, and I can just do whatever the hell I want. And he does whatever the hell he wants.
I have this ancient civilization mecha, and I'm going to whoop your ass with this shovel, even though the shovel was an accident. Kind of thing,
all the mecha does the entire show is, I could just kill them all.
Exactly.
Because he hates all humans. Except him.
Yeah, the AI.
I mean, he has a perfectly legit reason to hate them all.
Oh, yeah, no, he got locked away for thousands of years, yeah.
He was programmed to wipe out humanity, that's his thing.
But he's just like... I like how it was funny, too, because I agree with you. Anytime he got into the slightest confrontation, whether it was verbal or physical, the AI just spoke to him in his head. Want me to kill him?
No, it's the scene where he meets the queen for the first time and she's being harassed. Okay. And he waits for her to get harassed and he's like, do you have any idea who you hit? And he has justification to beat the crap out of them all.
Mm-hmm. Like, I like how it was funny, though. He was like, he's born into that, like, he's like, into that low class Duke's home. And, like, he's like, and he was going to get married off to that 50-year-old fat, ugly lady. He's like, nah, fuck you. And he goes up to talk to his quote-unquote mom, who's not really his mom. And he's like, if I become rich, well, do I have to marry her? She's like, no, if you become rich, I'll even send you to the school. It's like, okay, bet. He leaves for 2 months, comes back with a boatload of money. And she's just like, I thought you were dead. He's like, nah, bitch.
He literally has infinite money.
Exactly.
Luxion crafts gold bars for him whenever he wants them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was it.
It is one of my favorite series. It's really good.
Yes, it is. I actually want to start reading that novel soon for it.
I've got the first 7 volumes. It's really good.
Oh.
I'm just waiting for the final 3 volumes of Smartphone, and I'll be all right.
Have you read the new solo leveling mangas that came out recently?
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I've read the first 15. I haven't read further than that yet.
I just find it funny how later on he's trying to hide all this stuff from everyone, and later on he's everyone's like, yeah, no, he reawakened with the most OP thing. He can level up through killing monsters and stuff like that, you know, and he's just telling everyone, yeah, no, don't piss me off, I'll kill you, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, the entire thing is Beru comes back and is like, I'm not strong enough, but if I was, I'd kill everybody for you. Like, thanks, Beru.
Yeah. But I do like how it goes into more detail about how he got his powers later on. Is that because right at that time, one of the lords or something like that of the labyrinths or whatever they're called, dungeons, was dying, so he just like looked out into the universe, basically found him. He was like, he has potential. Basically, just gave him all his powers. I thought that was a pretty cool little thing, because they typically in those types of animes, it's just like, oh, I got my powers from God kind of thing, you know? But it was actually a freaking shadow demon.
An angel, actually, but yeah.
It was an angel, a shadow, I think, angel, but
yeah, the
shadow
shadow hero
demon,
is an angel who's corrupted and stuff. Just
yeah,
random bits. I haven't read it for a while though.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, because typically like animes don't go that direction, you know. He always gets his powers from God or something like that, not like a fallen angel kind of thing, you know. Like he basically got his powers from Lucifer, basically. Like just to kind of throw something, just to throw an analogy out there.
If anything, it'd be Michael, and everybody else was kicked out except him.
Yeah.
Real good though.
Oh, it's really good anime. 10 out of 10. I can't wait for the season 2 to come out and see what they do with season 2, because season 1 ended with him going to the island. So.
Season 2, he'll get Beru.
No, season 1 ended with him getting his first high S rank subordinate. That's right.
Yeah, he'll get Beru, and it'll end when he claims the true monarch powers, probably.
Yeah.
From the architect.
Or like, then they'll start doing at Ragnarok and stuff like that. But they'll probably do Ragnarok. They'll probably do a 5-year hiatus like they normally do, you know. But hey, you can't say Solo Leveling did not have a killer soundtrack. Like, that's one of the first animes I've watched in a long, long time where I like actually enjoyed listening to the music in the show and I could piss off.
It's no Kaiju number 8's opening. That is amazing.
Oh, I find it cool how they actually hired an American rapper to write that.
Yeah, they hired Youngblood.
Yeah. I see hell rise out of your eyes.
Yes, it's really good.
It's actually like it's really good. I'm actually looking forward to Kaiju the season 2 coming out next summer. It's actually, they've already announced it's going to be coming out during the mid-year release.
It's weird. There's not a lot of content for Kaiju number 2, Kaiju 8 season 2. They're not that much further than it in the manga.
Huh?
They're not that much further than where they are now in the manga.
Well, they're going to start. That's why they're giving them till summertime. They were going to originally try to push it for it to be open in the beginning of the year releases, along with all those, but they couldn't do it. That's why they swapped Solo Leveling for that one. Originally, Kaiju number 2 was supposed to be released in January, season 2. Kaiju number 8 was supposed to be released in January. However, they didn't have enough content to do it at that time, so they went to the studio, basically to the manga studio, was like, hey, we want to release season 2, but you're not giving us much stuff to work with here. Like, they were like, we'll give us till next summer. And they're like, okay.
The better webtoons out next year. Anyway. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is amazing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's...
Have you been watching Shangri-La Frontier?
I have.
Oh.
The better Log Horizon. But Log Horizon is still infinitely better than SAO.
Yes. I 100% agree with that. SAO was like, well, keep in mind, Alicization gets a lot of shit for this. Alicization was very dark, but that was because the target audience was for the people who grew up watching it. Because by that time, everyone who grew up watching the original SAOs was all in their 20s. You know? That's why it was so much darker than the other ones. And a lot of people just don't seem to understand that, you know? Like, I realized it right away. You know, he gets poisoned and goes into a coma.
I still think Log Horizon's better, but that's just me.
Alicization, I read the light novel for Alicization. There was a lot of, like, key point plots they left out about it. Like, in the light novel, he actually helped forge his sword. And it actually goes into more detail about how he could access his as people call it, Black Swordsman mode when he's fighting the goddess. But
I still prefer Log Horizon to SAO, but that's just me.
Log Horizon was a little too slow for my liking. That's why I got like 5 episodes into it when it was airing still, and I kind of stopped watching it.
That's why I liked it, because it was more fleshed out than SAO.
Huh?
I liked it because it was more fleshed out. A lot more fleshed out.
They dragged it out a lot.
Yeah, but it shows how you would live in a virtual world. SAO didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. Because and also SAO, especially the first season, had a lot of time skips.
Which set Firewall quickly? It did have a lot of time skips, yeah.
See, then the rest of the show didn't. Like, and not many people really like that.
Do you know how depressing it is that the Sword Art Online Abridged is a far better story than SAO?
Yes.
By the way, episode 18 came out today.
I've been watching it. It is.
Yeah, SAO Abridged 18 came out today, and it's great.
It is. I watched it. It was hilarious.
She brings up a good point in episode 17 that just wrecks his entire story.
Yeah, basically. But
Crossover Breaker, you mean the set that introduces the cards for the £1,500 decks?
hang on, Brad. Let me mute up real quick. Hang on. Mute up real quick. Could be right.
Yeah, they introduced Ryziel and Malice, which are £1,500 decks. And I did want to play Ryziel because it's an Xyz deck, but I'm also not spending £1,500 on it. Oh yeah, they upped the previous £1,100 deck to a £1,500 deck, which you can't hand trap because it has 15 one-card starters. It's stupid. I can't believe they keep doing this. They just... Like, the ban list didn't do anything. Like, everything that they banned wasn't being used at all. And now they've banned everything to such an extent, which has made Ryziel even stronger, because there's nothing to fight against it other than itself. I mean, Time Steal's funny. Don't get me wrong, but it's really annoying to play. You know, because Ryziel just has a card that destroys 5 cards your opponent controls as quick effects. It's not once per turn, and it can be used as many times as it has material. So every card they activate, you can just destroy it immediately. It's so goddamn stupid. They need to stop. They really do. It's why I'm not a massive fan of just playing in these formats. Like, I'll spend a lot on a deck if I really like it. But maybe 200's probably the best I'll ever go. 1500 is absolutely stupid. And it doesn't help that they're in a short print set where you only get, 3 ultra rares per box of a potential 12 super rares? So stupid. Don't worry if I want. I really want them to make alternate formats. I really do. But they're not going to do it. I mean, Time Wizard's pretty standard, but I also just want it to be... Because a lot of people are saying, oh, we should play original Duelist City format. That wasn't fun for me. Set 1 pass is not fun. But I want something in between that's not just your opponent can't play. Hmm.
That's normal. All right, I'm back. Sorry. You there, Brad?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. So where do we leave off at now? I'm sorry.
This is how would we make Yu-Gi-Oh slower? Because the formats right now, as expensive as they are absolutely garbage.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that they finally updated Helldivers? Hey.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Helldivers released the Illuminate update yesterday at the Game Awards.
Oh, you mean the Totally Not Game Awards, but we're not going to give the best game the award because reasons.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Honestly, God, everyone thought Black Myth Wukong was going to win.
It should have.
It really should have. I 100% agree with you on that one.
I mean, I didn't even like that game, but it was better than the others.
Yeah. What one again?
Was it Elden Ring won it?
Yeah, it was Elden Ring. Yeah.
It shouldn't have been. That wasn't a game, that was a DLC.
It was the DLC that won, yeah. Yeah.
So on that particular comment there, Firewall, I have there was a Team APS video from like last year or year before, which is there should be a place to play decks that not and like tier 3 or tier 2 or tier 3. Because locals you can't play them because you won't win. And the people who say, well, taking participation's all that matters and winning doesn't matter are idiots. Winning does matter. People do not play these games and put money into these games to lose. Maybe if they did it like in like certain sets of, you can have X number of things on this list that are hand traps. You can have X number of these, or it's going to sound stupid, right? But deck building in such a way of, let's pick a random archetype, say Galaxy. To play a deck, at least 70% of your deck has to be Galaxy.
Yep.
Because I've seen people who play quote unquote plant decks with 4 plants. That is not a plant deck. So if we just state you have to have 70-80% of that archetype stuff, I'd probably be fine with that. Because then you can't just have random engines in there, providing... I mean, you could, for example, have Fiendsmith in there, providing the rest of your deck is a different archetype and at least 70% of what it is.
Yep. One thing I've been seeing a lot of today in the tournament has been a lot of Dragoon decks.
Well, yeah, it's free. As soon as you put 2 monsters down, you can play Dragoon.
Oh, yeah. Surprisingly enough, I've also been seeing a lot of French food decks, too.
And come on, Firewall. Who, apart from Nat, has played Triamid? I mean, they have some cards. But even if you don't want to go for just specifically Triamid cards, you can say rock support. There's tons of rock. You can add Emancipator bits or fossil stuff. I played Triamids too. They were terrible.
Surprisingly enough, I'm surprised that the Dino archetype has actually really fallen out. You know, not many people play the dinosaur archetype anymore, shockingly enough, I found.
It's still really good.
Oh, yeah. It's just
just
people
not
don't
using
use it because well, keep in mind, the Dino archetype, too, is like something that takes a few turns to get set up. So why do that, though, whenever you can, you know...
I mean, you can do it in turn 1, but you don't have Misk anymore. But since people are playing 20 hand traps now, they will stop your entire turn immediately.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't get the baby to be destroyed or get Scrap Raptor on the field, you just won't do anything.
Yep.
Overload Future Fusion.
Plus, everyone also has now figured out how to counter the Big Boy Tyro Tyranno card. Not Tyranno. What is it called? The black and I think it sounds like Godzilla almost. What's it called? It's like it can swap like so many of your monsters in the face down position and destroy them all and like kill your life points.
Ultimate Conductor Tyranno.
Yeah, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Yep. Everyone else, they now have so many ways out there to negate it. Whereas a year ago, there wasn't that many ways to negate it. You know?
I'm curious, how many Triamid cards exist?
Excuse me. My apologies.
You can. There's 8 cards there. There's 10. You can make 70% Triamid, it will just suck. I do not know why you would want to make 70% Triamid, but you can.
Yeah.
Or maybe make
a lot of, like,
extra deck limits of the extra deck has to be vaguely locked into the archetype you're in, so you can't just pull random stuff.
You know what deck I played against today that I actually saw not once but 3 times? The original Gen 1 Kaiba deck.
I'm not surprised. A lot of people play Blue Eyes. I don't like it, but people do.
No. Not no Blue Eye support. The original Gen 1 Kaiba deck. As in from his first duel with Yugi.
It's terrible.
They all smoked me.
Alright, back in a sec. I've got half an hour left, so we'll get a couple more games.
Explain that one to me.
I can't. I myself don't even know why people play Blue Eyes, but that's just me.
Yeah. Ah, yes. The background noise that comes from Brad's mic. There it is again. Yeah, that makes sense, Firewall. Yeah, but how did I lose? I got wiped each time. That's not part of the joke, I don't think. I was running my own Blue Eyes deck that me and Brad built together. That is actually leaning towards Warrior Dragon deck now.
Yeah. By the way, next week is going to be an 8-hour stream.
Oh Lord, what are you doing?
I'm going to start off with Pal World because I need to fix the base you and Nat broke.
Okay, no. I was going to talk to you about that actually. Tomorrow, if you're not that busy tomorrow, before or after you do your Nuzlocke stream, I was actually going to see if you let me hop on there and fix some of that stuff.
So next week is my birthday stream, so it's going to be 8 hours. So.
Hey, more power to you. I did find out I'm starting my job next week though.
Ooh.
What day I don't know because they have to talk to. So they have to figure a couple things out with one of the managers that's going to be training me. But yeah. Hot tub stream finally.
I do not have a good enough camera for that.
Hot tub time machine.
I mean, I could do that if I want to get my account banned.
Can we take a look? I mean, can we just talk about how Hot Tub Time Machine was such an underrated movie for its time, but now like 20 years later, it's like a cult. It's a cult classic.
There's loads of cool cult classics.
It is a lot of cult classics these days. Like a lot of movies that back like 20 years ago didn't do well, but today there people watch them like, oh, this is a great movie.
Ooh, Alabaz. Lovely.
Same with a lot of older animes too that didn't do good back in the day. You know, there's a lot of animes I wish they would reboot that didn't do well back then, but now there's like that people actually know how to make proper anime. You know.
There's also that there's a lot of series I want to get into that are older animes, but they haven't aged well.
I agree.
Like, I kind of would want to watch like original Gundam, but I know I'm not gonna like it.
Like the original Gundam, for example, like the one that's like the start of the war kind of thing, where they developed the first Gundams and all that stuff. Yeah, and yeah, Firewall. That is true.
Oh, did I tell you about that? I have to watch all of Doctor Who on stream now.
Oh God!
Starting from the original, because I said to Blaze, the crew member who I do videos with, that the only reason he thinks Doctor Who is good is because of nostalgia. So I've got to watch it with him now.
I agree. I agree in a way, but the same way, like, there's been a few Doctor Who's that haven't been the greatest, and people have even said it. Like,
but for him to just adamantly say that none of the newer stuff, like, none of it, is better than something from, like, 40 years ago, I think is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to get that stream done.
I mean, you can always try VPN Firewall.
I think it'll be a nice stream, to watch them from the beginning, just to see if it is just nostalgia or not.
Mm-hmm.
I might do that for, like, the 200 subscriber special or something.
Oh, there you go. You're at 132 now. So.
I've got 17 in the last month. It's great.
Oh yeah, man. At that rate, you should have it by the end of next year. I'm kidding. Now, you'll probably, if you keep up at the same rate, you'll probably have it by like. Oh man.
I mean, I've got episodes releasing until the 15th of May, so I'm getting there.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're playing a lot of old retro games too, so.
To be fair, the Sarah Jane spin-off was great.
Surprisingly enough, I actually haven't watched that one.
Sarah Jane Adventures was pretty good.
I haven't watched that one. Excuse me.
Yeah, I kind of want to just... I know that the graphics and the sets are going to be terrible, but I kind of want to see how it's written.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know I know sort of how we're going to record it, but how to upload it without getting copyright strikes, because I'm sick of getting those.
Mm-hmm. Your best bet would probably be just to take it down off of Twitch after, to be honest. Is it sad that I was actually hovering over your stream trying to look at your cards?
Yes.
Gee, Brad, thanks. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it.
Well, here's another series that ended well. Avatar: The Last Airbender ended well.
Yes, the original. You heard how next year they're having a third series come out, huh? Supposed to be about Earthbender.
It should be fine. I think it'll be alright.
Yeah. I think they're gonna do one more series after that about a firebender. But then after that, they're gonna reboot.
The only issue I had with Avatar is it wasn't mature enough.
Yeah.
My only real problem was he didn't struggle with potential having to kill Ozai at the end. It was just magically given to him that he didn't need to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have taught kids even better, for the children who were supposed to be watching it.
Well,
to have that sort of thought in there.
There's a lot of reading in between the lines for Avatar: The Last Airbender that you have to.
Well, he speaks to the previous avatars, and 3 of the 4 he speaks to just say, kill them for the greater good. And he just doesn't.
Well, yeah, he talks to the spirit turtle lion.
Which just magically gives him energy bending. Here you go, have a kaiju. Yeah, I do have to blame Nickelodeon for that one. Don't worry.
There's a lot of reading in between the lines you really gotta do with Avatar: Last Airbender. You gotta realize by the end of the show he's 11, or no, 13. And you really gotta understand why he was so controversial about it too. Because in the Air Nomad Nation, killing is forbidden.
But he speaks to the previous airbender who did kill people.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason why killing is forbidden with air. And it's funny because
killing may be forbidden, but an avatar is above that. They have to do what's right for the world, not themselves.
Yeah, that's true. But
which is why I wanted him to struggle with it. He just doesn't.
And this is actually something I watched something recently about this. Monkey Yatsu went on a massacre.
Oh, he killed loads of people.
Oh yeah, no. Here's the thing. When Aang finds him, there's tons of corpses around for freaking Fire Nation soldiers, and none of them have any damage to their armor or anything like that. Yet you see Monkey Yatsu over there just just dead, and you're like, huh? I actually never noticed that before. Exactly, Firewall. That's what I'm trying to get at too. That's what I'm trying to get at.
And it was really enjoyable, but some bits of it were pretty cop-outy.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it, though.
The comics do wrap up the series quite well, though. I will say that.
It is
The
a
comics
shame
wrap
that
it
you
up very
have to
well.
read the comics to get more of the ending, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because a
I
lot of
agree.
kids won't have had access to those.
Yeah. Like how Zuko's mom, like basically, like how Sozin, not Sozin, Ozai.
Yeah,
Basically,
with
it's
the
just like,
face stealer and
leave.
stuff.
If you don't leave, I'm gonna kill you. Like basically, he's like, leave. If you don't leave, I'm gonna kill you. And like, so she leaves, goes back to her village, runs into her childhood love before she got quote unquote kidnapped by Ozai to basically be his wife. Like that's literally how it happened too. In the comic books, it explains it too. Like he literally walked into the village, looked at her, said, "Huh, she's pretty. She'd make a great wife," and they take her the next day.
I'm still scrolling down to find more series. I'll find some.
You took the L on that one, Brad. So
I did.
The L on that one. Yeah. I don't blame you.
If I can't
didn't see where
kill
you can
them
come back-
in the second turn,
Yeah.
this deck will not win.
Yeah.
Okay, Medabots ended well because there is no season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 does not exist of that show. The same with Huntic. Huntic season 1 ends great. Season 2 does not. Ooh. Jackie Chan Adventures ends well.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Very well. One of the first American-made animes.
Are we talking season 1 of Huntic or season 2? Season 2 was not good. I really, really enjoyed season 1.
Okay, what about Aquarion?
Which one?
The original.
It was fine.
Yes, the second and third series.
Evol was
that-
fine.
Right? Huh? Yugioh was fine. Yes. Logos, on the other
I
hand.
really enjoyed Logos.
Yeah.
Especially the OVA, which had the protagonists from all of them together. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember much about Jackie Chan Adventures either, to be honest with the Firewall. Because that show came out so long ago. I was like...
It goes Talisman arc, Mask arc, then to defeat the Mask guy, they give the talismans to the Talisman guy, they fight each other and get put into a different dimension, and it shows adult Jade narrating the ending. It was fine. It made sense how they got rid of all the talismans and masks.
Kind of like a K&D ending, gotcha.
Yeah, it was fine.
A lot of endings, a lot of animes ended that way back in the day, from what I understand. A lot of kid cartoons ended that way back in the day, with like of the adult version of one of the characters like narrating what happened and all that stuff. It's kind of what they did with K&D. I mean, Kids Next Door, the finale movie for that, it was okay.
I
Wasn't
thought
great.
it was fine.
It was okay. I mean, well, basically ends with number 5 receiving a phone call saying, yeah, everything went great. Oh yeah, number 1, welcome back. And she's 95 or like in her 80s or 90s or something like that. And she's old. You know, so like that doesn't make sense because the whole thing about the K&D is that once you turn 13, you can't be in the K&D anymore. So how the fuck is he, you know?
Reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we discussed Generator Rex before. it was good, but certain parts of it were bad, and its ending was too sequel baity.
And the whole reason that season 2 wasn't produced was because, once again, toy sales. If we're talking old, okay, now I'm talking. We're gonna go back to the 80s on this one. Transformers Generation 1.
I didn't watch that one. I watched Energon, upwards.
Armada, and I've watched Armada.
Yeah. Armada, Energon, and
Cybertron.
Cybertron. Yeah.
I've watched everything for the most part. There's been a couple ones I haven't been able to watch yet, but I've watched them on YouTube. Like the Transformers Prime Japanese exclusive sequel series. It takes place between the Beast Hunters movie and the end of the original series. It was weird.
Here's an obscure one.
Wasn't released in the States.
Yeah, here's an obscure one. Zoids ended well.
Honestly, I've never watched Zoids.
Zoids is quality.
That's what everyone tells me.
The problem is, I tried to get them on DVD, by the way. It's £600.
That firewall, and because they're running out of content. They ran out of content ideas. And back then, Hasbro determined the quality of a show by how well their toy sales went. If the toy sales didn't do good, then they would kill off a character.
Honestly, I'd be happy if they're doing that now. Because a lot of series are doing really garbage and they keep getting renewed.
Yeah, but that's because the figure sales are doing really well for the series. Only reason.
Oh, I actually won a game for once. That's been a while. Go me.
All right, Brad. Well, I'm going to get out of here, brother. I'm going to go do some off.
Yeah, I've only got another 20 minutes or so anyway, so...
Yeah, I'm going to do this some off-camera work on the mod pack I'm playing on, so...
Indeed,
you enjoyed your stream, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll be on next week if you will be.
Well, of course I'll be on next week. So... All right, I'll talk to you later, brother.
Later, sir. I hate it when I try to renew stuff like that.
The 23rd is not this Monday coming up, but the following. So
I don't know if I got that off work, so I'll have a see.
All right, sounds good.
Because I'd ideally want to finish the base and what we can next week before the update, and then we can only focus on the update when it comes out. So.
Well, the update's gonna be a whole bunch of new bosses, some new craftable items, and like
even defeating the bosses that are currently in the game.
Well, there's a lot of bosses we gotta do, so it's a lot of new bosses. So
we'll get there, though.
Right, Brad,
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Maybe not next week, but it'll be a couple more streams before we get to that point, Brad. I'm just letting you know now. So
yeah,
and if we decide to do off-camera work,
any off-camera work I would do is to level grind to make it easier for us to do stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's basically all I'd do.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Brad. Later.
Yeah, in a bit, mate. Who is opening the true Draco pack? Brad is. Excuse me. That's pretty terrible, actually. I used to really enjoy the Transformers toys, but since they've changed them, they're not as good as they used to be. It's weird. Yeah, my Red Eyes deck does not have this. This card now is too slow, even for Red Eyes. Because Primite can just summon Red Eyes from your deck for free. It's fine. The better quality, yes, but they did a run for a while where the transformations were just terrible. They didn't do it right. Like they had very basic transformations instead of the really cool complex ones from before. I do eventually want to collect some when I build my new gaming room next year. Oh, really? I mean, the transformations I'm more comfortable, reciting are the Beast Wars ones. And the ones around Armada. Those are the ones I know mainly about. That's the thing. Can you get them on Blu-ray? Amazon. Can you get Transformers on Blu-ray? Transformers. I'll just put DVD. See if it's got any. Original animated series. I don't really want that. We've got Transformers Prime. That's fine. Yeah, I'll put it on screen. It's fine. So there's some. I'd love a Transformers Armada box set. I might have to take that tip on. Absolutely. Let's see if Armada is on Amazon. It actually is. How much is the collector's edition? It can't be that cheap. That must be wrong. £30 though. That's not terrible. Looks to be in okay condition. And you can even get Energon with it. Oh. Yeah, I had this one. I remember that one. Well, mine was that colour. The Legacy Purple Green. I didn't have many Armada ones, but I had some. I had this one. Tidal Wave was a good one. I had that one as well. I do need to collect these again at some point. Cool. I'll get those. Be alright. They have Transformers model kits. HL. Let's have a quick look. Transformers. That's not bad, actually. Nice releases. Nice one. Ooh. The Grimlock figure looked kind of cool. It is something I will have to have a browse through. I think I had this one as well. Silver Walt. Some of these are really cool. Can't afford to spend money on them at the moment though, but I'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there, Firewall. We'll get there. I think I've got 4 build kits to finish building now. I've just got no room to put them anywhere. That was garbage. I only got 1 UR. That did not go well, did it? Search for that quickly. Wish I had the money for these. They do look nice though. Don't worry, I'll save up for them at some point and decorate my new games room with them. I think I've got... I have this one to build, which is the Gao Gaiga kit. I've got the... Got the Zeion model kit, which is this one. I've got the... What's the other one? It's the Geno Breaker. I have this boy. So next week I'm going to start my stream a little earlier if I can. And it's probably going to be like 8 hours or so long. Just because I've got no else to do that week because it's near enough Christmas. So start off with Power World, fix that world. Then I think someone asked me to play... What's it called? It's sort of like Power World, but it's dinosaurs. They asked me to play that. I'll play that for a little bit. And it'll just be whatever game anybody recommends for me to play at that time. Genosaurus is so cool. Such a cool boy. Ooh, Pokemon Showdown has a mode for 4. Pokemon Nuzlocke. That reminds me, I need to do that. Oh, did I show you? I've fixed the layout. The Nuzlocke now looks like this. But it won't display it, but... Will it not display? Yeah, it looks like that. If you look on screen now, it's ready to actually Nuzlocke. Only took me like 15 minutes to make it, so it's not too bad. I just need to put these sprites of my Pokemon on the bottom and their names, and then I can just continue it from where I left off. I mean, it's not that level of quality of artwork, but it works for what it is. I can't remember if that even got any views. Let me have a gander while this guy's doing that. My videos, there we go. Oh, I got a new subscriber yesterday, apparently. Don't mind me. It would have been alive, wouldn't it? It got 53 views. That's not too bad for me. You want to see how stupid this is, by the way? Look. 50, 50, 50. And one random grinding ladder has 400 views, and I don't know why. I just don't get it. I'm going to get Buster locked. That's lovely. Thanks, game. Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. My little layout. I need to edit a lot more of my videos because can't be bothered getting anyone else to do it. So I'm going to level up in my DaVinci skills. You know, that's the software I use. I've got the manga reviews to do. Linkaribo Pass. Oh. Okay. I can sort of accept Linkaribo Pass. Extra. I mean, extras are better start than no. Give me a draw too, please. For which bit? The manga reviews or the other one? Because the manga reviews, I've got all the intros to do. I've got the intro to do. It's split into segments. I've got to put all the photos on the screen about what we're talking about. Add some transitions and stuff. Oh, the Let's Plays isn't too bad. Unless I cut something out or add something in. Yeah, it's fine. Well, for the series I'm doing right now, Dark Deity, I have a little bit to do because I'm cutting out all the support conversations and putting them into their own video. Because it'll blow up the videos down, and if people want to watch the side support content, they can. But I'm not going to force them, so I'm going to make it as a 0.5, which will cut 20 minutes off each video, and I can condense those ones down. I just need to edit those, basically. DaVinci's really easy to use. It's just the problem is I'd have to send all of them to you, and some of them are 50 gigs in size. Like, I'll quickly demonstrate while I'm doing my thing here. The videos I've finished are... Where's properties? 58.7 gigs for just these videos here. Huge. Have a kaiju. I need water arabesque right now. And get rid of that. Then we can water arabesque on Link Reaver. Yeah, it's not too bad to edit. It's the ones I mainly need to edit are the long form videos, like the discussion ones, because we're going to be doing some Yu-Gi-Oh quiz content next year. You know, the other person on my channel, Blaze, is going to be doing those. He wants to do some like how is Yu-Gi-Oh censored quizzes and some other stuff like that. They'll need to be edited together. It'll take me a bit, but I'm trying to wipe out all of next year in recordings right now, because I'm up to May already. And then I can do some novel stuff or editing different contents. I think it'll be kind of cool. Like, I'll just quickly load up DaVinci. It's really easy to use. It's free, if you ever wanted to mess around with it. I've only got like another 10 minutes, but I'll just quickly load it up and have a quick show. Yeah, so you just pick your project. I'm currently on this one. 5-chapter rule season 2. That's my video footage there. You can scroll along. I've added my manga panels. Just drag your manga panels in. Like, you know, like where they appear. That sort of thing. The beginning is intro bits, into Sandland, discussions, stuff like that. Bro, you cannot be worse at sketching than me. I used to do quite a bit. I don't sketch much anymore. It depresses me because I'll get halfway through and I'll never finish it. Because it'll annoy me that it's not how I pictured it to be in my mind. Nat keeps telling me to just finish it regardless, but sometimes it just does not work for me. Ooh. A lot better sketcher than mine, good sir. I can tell you right now. I'm trying to get better at people. I just suck at it. Which is a shame. I don't think I've got any of my actual artwork posted anywhere. I did at some point. But I've got loads made for me, but not drawn by me. Let's scroll up here and I'll see if I've got any. Oh, I'm off first. Why am I off first? Pass. I drew this guy. I didn't colour him. I did the outlines for him. It's not great. Because his hand's out of proportion at the back because his claw doesn't come out. Oh, it's this. Maxi, do it. I do like your design. It's more realistic than mine. Because you've thought of aspects of different animals to add, even with the machine parts. Mine's just generic random alien thing. And I didn't even finish it. I mean, it only looks cool because someone else finished it for me. No, don't worry, they're a lot better than mine. I'm just trying to find some artwork I randomly did, but I can't find any. I don't do that much. I'm just scrolling through the file dump section in the DT Wars chat to see if I've posted anything, but I don't think I have. That's how little I actually draw. I've been meaning to get better at it, but I just haven't. Maybe that's what I'll set for my goal next year. You know, to actually try to get better at art. I think that might be a nice, cool goal. Oh, you cite sources. That's cool. Not many people do that. I guess very rare people do that. I've been told I need to buy Parasite Eve. It's like £100. I can buy it, but I'll see. Yeah, I only did the actual line work for it. It's not terrible. It's not as good as I'd wanted it to have been, but... Yeah, because all the star beings are like planet-sized super beings. But we've just been slowly getting through all those. I mean, if I can't do anything else, you can just have a lava golem. There you go. I thought. Pass. I thought I had more random artwork on me, but I don't think they do. Oh, how does that particular character go through space, you mean? I mean, this is Star Dragon. That little blip is a sun. He is huge, and he has wings to fly. I mean, let me find actual one that we're talking about there. He can use some... I actually don't know how he flies. He's got the little wing things. I could just say he teleports, I suppose. I mean, their god doesn't move. But, yeah. I mean, they are spirits, so they can just not be corporeal, so they don't hit things, I suppose. It's not a great answer, but it is possible. Like the god, if you haven't seen Creator Dragon, it is the artwork of the line art of Creator Dragon. He crushes suns in his hand, and he doesn't breathe fire; he breathes stars. That's his law. Star Creator Dragons are being, the rest are just spirits. So, I'm going to plug some artwork here. Praying did these for me, for one of my decks. We've got the Lightning Empress. And then we've got that Star Knight Cancer with his little symbol on his swords. Durandal. When he wants to draw, he can actually draw. It's very rare, but he can. Alistician Sophie. I think that's Victoria. Yeah, he's got some nice artwork there. And then Nat just draws artwork for days. We're getting there, though. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask Red Knight what if he wanted a Deity Wars deck making for him. I forgot. I'll ask him later. So I'm going to focus on a lot of that stuff next year. If you haven't seen the calendar, by the way, that's January, February. I've got Pokemon Let's Go releasing until the 15th of May. Ooh, Solar Sails, that does sound cool. I'll have one more game, because we're still chatting about cool stuff. There's lots of things to think about, like if a dragon is the size of a solar system, how fast does it move? And like, since it breathes light, how fast would its attacks move? Like, if you're on a planet and it's starting to attack that planet, how fast would, for example, see its eye open? Because it'd be really slow considering its size. But would it be slow? Because one, it's a god, and one, it has light powers. Two, it has light powers. Like, if something that big moved at light speed, it would destroy a whole solar system simply by moving. In lore, by the way, the first defeat Star Dragon has in the show is being rider kicked to the face by a Power Ranger. It kicks through the portal, being human-sized, and kicks something the size of a universe and knocks it away. Oh, this guy thinks I'm going to use SP Little Knight. What a shame. I'm definitely not. Yeah, because we've got what all the 6 protagonists are. Because if we went for a Beyblade style of people rotate during battles, so it's not always the same characters. We've got like 6 main characters. How are my most recent videos done? Let's have a look. I'll have a second. Here we go. Wow. Loads of people are watching the RuneScape videos for some reason. Interesting. Really? I just got rid of Lava Golem and now I draw Lava Golem? I don't want Lava Golem. I do want Harry though. Rid of Lava Golem. Well, Star Dragon's law is right at the beginning of the world. He was used to make all of light, and it made him exhausted, and he's just been sleeping for like millions of years. Because all of his creations, the Star Knights, just absorb the light from his sun on his tail. I do really like believable sci-fi, though. Bounce. I think the next series I need to watch is Farscape. Because I think Nat was saying it's only got like 2 seasons. So I do need to watch that next. Got some good sci-fi, because I never watched a lot of sci-fi growing up. Ooh, elf. Yes. The Cthulhu mythos. I got into that when I was watching Demon Main. You know, the mecha show with the most powerful mecha in existence. Yeah, that's got a lot of Cthulhu stuff. As in that one, it's sealed into the Shining Trapezahedron, which is a sword. Which it just wields to access infinite dimensions, because reasons. Hmm. Oh, Earth Machine. Azathoth, yeah. I couldn't remember its name off the top of my head. There's only a couple of Cthulhu characters I actually remember. He's got a metal cruncher. That was his special summon, so that's fine. It'd be fine. I've changed the title of this from episode 12 to finale. Take that one. That's a better name. Ooh, that's some cool lore. I do like the Cthulhu lore, I just haven't had a chance to get super into it with like the games and other stuff. I mean, I am going to be playing The Darkness soon. Is it The Darkness? No, that game you got me to get. Eternal Darkness. I have that. I'll be playing that early next year. Not go away, word. Misclicked. Yeah, have a nib. Ooh, send me a link to those. I do like listening to some podcasts. I've been reading ones that Praying's been sending me about writing. You know, for the book I'm writing soon. I've been reading a couple of those. Hey, feel free to send them over. I'll give them a go. Already got ruined force, that's not great. They will, as always, by the way, be added to the episode preview section on release later, which currently has the first 8 Dark Deity episodes. I'm going to fill it up with more episodes over time, though. Yeah, feel free to send them over. Why does he have an Arise heart? Why is Arise heart a machine? Oh, interesting. English gentlemen do indeed narrate some really cool things. Thank you, sir. So we've got Dagon. Some Nameless City. Ooh. I'll give those a go while I'm editing. I do have a lot of editing to do. I think I've got... Where is it? Like 9 episodes of 5 chapter roll to do. But I'm going to be there a while. I don't know why he would have halved his life points there, but... Yeah, half your life points again, sir. I'll take that. Mine now. Ooh. I will definitely give these a go by next week. I'm going to do a lot of editing next week, so... It should be nice. Should be fine. He's about to win his turn. Fine. A kaiju. Boop. Boop. Didn't you ask me to play a free Steam game at some point too? Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. Yes, that's in my library. I haven't played it, but I have it. I'll be playing that as well once I get down to the bottom of this list. I've got loads of things on my wish list right now. I was going to play something like that for Halloween, I just completely forgot. Duelist level 12's not terrible. Hey, everybody's allowed to blabber about what they're passionate about, sir. That's why I talk about nothing but power systems and card games, because they're my things. Making cool... Like, I was going to do some power system videos with Nat next year, which is like, we put a concept together for a thing, and say, you know, like, put it on a spinning wheel, and whatever it lands on, we make a character or world based on that, and then people get to choose which one of us won that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, it could say, spin a wheel of elements and you find, like, Earth, and then pick a weapon, say, I don't know, axe, and you got to make an Earth axe user in this certain world or something. I don't mind Chakra, because Chakra's good in wuxia novels, you know, the Chinese ones. The equivalent of Chakra works fine there, just Naruto doesn't do it well. Because you can also spin one of, do you have like an internal magic system and out an external one? Like Chakra, Ki, Magic, enchanted weapons. There's loads of cool stuff you can do. So that was one of the ideas for one of the co-op series as next year, anyway. I think it'd be kind of cool. And even if other people don't find it cool, it'll be a lot of experience for me making that video with like lots of cuts and different footage. And then I've got the ones I'm doing with praying, which are the elemental videos. Like how elements are used in media and how they could be used better. I think he chose wind for the first one, but there's not a lot of wind users in series. At least no main characters that do. There's only like one off the top of my head who is really powerful. Unless you can think of any cool wind users. Which is... which is this boy. Kazuma Yagami. Who has god tier wind powers. And at one point creates a downdraft from a tornado. Enough to crush a giant to the ground. With just sheer wind powers. He's the strongest wind user I can remember. And then there's the Tokyo Underground anime. This guy has wind powers. There's not that many characters that have wind, though. It's mainly a secondary character skill. Wind makes... oh, it does! I remember that in Shaolin Showdown now. God, that was so long ago, that show. I'll put it on my list to watch later. Yeah, so I'm going to do one on each of the elements, and, well, on anything, really, because gravity is not an element. There's loads of cool stuff. So that's a couple of things I'm going to be doing next year. Because I'm not going to stray away from gameplay videos, but I want to make some standalone actual content. Toph is the best Earth user. Because she only needs to move her feet to create Earth pillars. And like move her arm and that sort of thing. It's the easiest Earth. Usually it's, I can throw an Earth bullet as a magic spell. Yeah, but that's not really Earth. Like, it's not really good, is it? Yeah, there's not a huge amount of Earth-based ones either. Earth using main characters. I honestly can't remember any. A lot of Earth elements are like classed as nature as well. I don't agree. Yeah, there's not many I can super think of. I mean, unless there's like gem magic, I suppose it could. Depending on how you want to do it. Like, you can have standard Earth power, but an upgraded version be gems as well. Or just give them that anyway. Then it's like, do they have metal? I mean, they probably would. Metal is an element of Earth. I'm just having a quick look for Earth element powers. I mean, Sandman sort of has sand powers. Sand is sort of Earth, I suppose. Yeah, there's not that many Earth, actually. But Earth can do cooler things than Wind can, in a way. I'm just having a quick look down this list here. I suppose more Earth elements in video games than it is in other shows. I'd count sand as Earth, yeah. It's mainly video games that has, you know, Earth powers. Because they use actual spells. Whereas everything seems to cast fire in media and water. Just, I think there's more Earth users than there's probably lightning users, though. You know, like genuine, actual lightning. Yeah, Wood's usually just elf based of we can just control plants. It's usually not that powerful either. If we're talking plant users, Usopp from One Piece is technically a plant user. Because he uses tons of different seeds. That's something. I do like the wood element. It's also one of the elements that has to create itself. You can either create it itself or manipulate what's there. Which is a problem with fire because it's very hard to have a fire skill that doesn't create its own fire and only use fire that's there. Which is why water, wind, earth, and water are better. No, water, wind, and earth, not water, wind, earth, water. The other ones are just better because you always have access to those. There's tons of cool stuff I can do for this video. Because I'll find like 6 or 7 different examples of those characters and what they do, and what I think that they can do eventually. Parasite powers. Parasite as in what? Because basically, the heroes that get summoned there get the one power given to them by the god that they need at that point and what they want. Because the main character wants a healthy body, and that's all she gets. And the other ones could have tons of different skills. So if one person, For example, their family were being a parasite to him and leeching off him, and when he got summoned to that world, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to allow that anymore, and gets parasite powers. It's perfectly possible. I haven't thought of all the villains yet. Because, like, the gods themselves are sort of parasites, considering they need to steal the magic of people. But, yeah, there's definitely things in there we can add for it. Oh, like, yeah. Similar to one of the other... it's going to sound really obscure, but I made a character for one of my series who is Death's Child, who is a healer. And that situation sort of goes into that as well. Huh. I could incorporate some parasite skills. That would make a cool villain, actually. Temporarily used skills of people. It might not be mind control, but slight manipulation. Like, if a person hates somebody, they can make them hate them more, and it'll force them to do different things that they wouldn't normally do. You know, exaggerating what's already there. Or implanting a slight suggestion that they would not normally think of. Like a hero who doesn't kill people. They could add the aspect of they thinking of potentially doing it, and it makes his mind go a bit off after a while. Yeah. Full-on control probably would take too much magic for them to do. And wouldn't work on the main character because she's basically feral. Or it does work on her for once, and she does kill a lot of people, and that sends her a bit over the edge. Yeah. Because the main character has, you know, the hunger to devour things. If they kept over time, without her knowledge, slowly making her more, you know, tipping it over the edge so she gets more hungry over time than normal. Make them sort of a good character who you don't know that they're doing that until later on. That does sound pretty cool, actually. Non-magic confusion. Similar to like a charm skill or something? Or like, he sweats a secretion that when he touches somebody, it soaks in and then it gives them slight control over them. There's lots of cool things you can add. Because I think, which creator said it, but they said the power that itself is not as interesting as how it's used. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a think on it. So anyway, I do need to get myself off. But on this chat here, if you think of anything else cool on this chain of thought, post it down post it to me in a chat. Because this is an interesting power I could definitely add. Because this would be a legit threat to her because, you know, she has massive rage issues due to the constant need to devour things. And it will also make a parallel between herself. Because if that also wants to devour things as a parasite, she herself is sort of like that as well. So she can parallel it with herself. I think that'd be kind of cool. Because when I do write this, I will put it on the discussion for everybody to read if they want. It's not something I'm going to hide or anything. I'll just add to it when I can. It'd be nice to publish, though. I have been reading an Amazon, a book from Amazon that was self-published. I could potentially do that at some point. I need some cool artwork, though. At least for the front cover. Always needing to eat to the point of cannibalism as a weak. Oh, yeah. The main character's got a lot of that to deal with. Because it's not so much the constant hunger, but she can only get power from beasts, but she can eat anything, even people. So she'd have to determine if the extra hunger's worth, like, she could eat people to satiate the hunger, but would she break her morals to do that, even if she'll gain nothing from it? Or like a berserk skill. Yeah. But she still wants to be a hero. She doesn't want to be a villain. So I'm trying to give her enough of a moral compass that she just won't do that. And I know there's certain points, I've thought of them already, where the character questions that. Oh, the parasite folk. Okay, so the more he uses it, the more he devolves, perhaps, or if he uses it incorrectly. Or if he doesn't use it, it either gets weaker, or it starts to eat away at him. Like his life force or something. Yeah, there's so many cool things you can do with these powers. That's why I enjoy, theory crafting about powers. Like, I've made a wind user who uses flower petals and is a poison user. Kind of cool. Yeah, and it's like the more they eat, the more likely they are to be found by people doing so and be hunted as well. They wouldn't start off amazingly powerful. There will be people stronger than them who can hunt them at the beginning. So the more cautious they are, which is also the same that she has to be, the main character, so it's going to be parallels there. Oh, this can be, not like an antagonist, but, like a recurring side character who's not evil, because it's kind of what their skill makes them do. Yeah. And it's like the head, the host could, like, give their blood to drink to certain people to give them buffs for a while. But then it could be like a drug to them and they can make money off it if they wanted to. Sort of like a vampire skill. Yeah. Cool. There we go. We've made not so much an antagonist. I don't think there'll be, like a super powerful villain. There'll be a side character who is there quite often, is hard to kill, but not like the main villains. Yeah. Because the main character would sympathize with them because that's also what they have and not want to defeat them, but eventually they know that that's what they're going to have to do. But then there's also the question, that the last question I'll add before I go is, is the character who is affected by a parasite a beast that she can absorb, or are they a human that they can't? Or the more parasite power they use, the more beast they become to the point where she can absorb them? As they're limited to beasts only to absorb powers from. Just limited to humans, okay. But since main character can only absorb beasts, for example, would he not be, as he has a parasite, is he still human or not? Okay. It would be really detrimental to have a parasite skill. It'll be an interesting villain either way. Actually, she'd be immune to that because she can't gain skills other than the predator skill, which is probably why they're natural enemies. It's fine. Like the anime Berserk of Gluttony. Yeah. I get it. That'd be cool. Well, anyway, I do need to get myself off, good sir. But if you do have anything else to add to the Parasite discussion, send it to me. Because this is a character I will create, and I'll add them in. I give some really cool powers. I'll just need to write down the rules of how it works first. And then I can create some situations around it. Like just a document, like a one page on Word or something of the rules that it needs to do. I think it's pretty cool. I will always have discussions on powers. Power systems are my thing. I really enjoy writing them all. Like, I made a 4-page document on rules of how a weapon that influences laws works. Like, they have to state it in a language that can be comprehended by the opponent. If not, and they question it, the character will get in trouble and have to explain how the powers works. Because it's only fair that they have to understand how it works. Like, what language does a written law have to be in to activate? There's loads of cool stuff. So for context, quickly before I go, the power is the god of laws, and they can influence laws, and the more laws the opponent's broken, the more damage you can cause on them. And when you activate it, it summons, the god of laws to preside over that battle, and it can judge people for how horrible they are, basically. Exactly. Does sign language count? can you enforce spoken laws on a person who can't hear those laws? See, they're just random things that you just never think of. Just real cool powers. See, I've got you thinking about them now. Just really obscure language-based powers. Yeah, but if they ask for the rules, they have to be told the rules. And if you break your own rules, the weapon will turn on you because you broke the laws of the god of rules, basically. And they're really hard to kill since the god of laws will protect them from, if you're attacked, in a way that would break rules, it just doesn't do anything to you. Like if the rule of the country you're in states, in this room, there can be no battles and a person attacks you, you're immune to that damage. Oh, you'd understand them. But if the character, he or she speaks them and they don't understand them, they can't break those rules no matter what. So that character would also have to realize that that person is deaf at the time and get that deaf person to read the hand signs. If they don't, they're immune to that attack because they don't understand the rules, and it's only fair. For example, even like characters who do evil things for the good for right reasons matters to the person using it, but not to the god who presides over it. All the god cares about is that the rule was broken, not how it was. I mean, ordinarily the character would explain the rules verbally, but if the opponent can't understand them and are deaf, at that point, you can't hurt that deaf person because they don't comprehend it. See? Loopholes. There's loads of cool things. I made like a 4 or 5 page document on this. It took ages. Like, how many laws can be invoked at once? Like, if you write on a sword, like a rule on a sword, it only affects what's hit with it. Does it only work in a radius around you? Can you write it on things? What language do you write it in? If you write it wrong, what happens? See? You're thinking of all these cool things already. This is what I like about power systems. You can just make so much cool stuff. Like, the sword will naturally cause more damage against a person who's committed more sins. But if they haven't inflicted any, like a small child or something, it can't kill them ever. Yeah. Just random spelling mistakes. It's also in the middle of combat, you've got to take time to write things. Because when it's invoked, the user is affected by it too. So if they lie blatantly in front of the judge, the god, you're going to get an ass kicking for it. Like, you could invoke a rule of characters can't dodge, but if you dodge as well, it'll crush you as well. Because any sin that the user of a god of laws does would be massive. Like, if you invoke a rule of people can't lie, if your opponent doesn't know you've invoked it or can't understand it, they're allowed to lie, but you're not. So you need to make sure it's invoked right every single time. Yeah, see? I might try and find that document. I've got it written down somewhere. So many cool things you can do with just... Like, I just thought of what would be cool to make a laws weapon, and it works. So many cool things you can do with it. Situations that you can get out of with technicalities, or... Like, you could be fighting somebody, like, in a massive battle, and a randomer just walks over and says, oh, I'll be defending that person, and you can't fight that person anymore, you've got to fight the new guy. There's loads of different scenarios, like, you could be fighting one person who's super evil, but your power would only work on that person. So if you got ambushed by two other people out of nowhere, you can't hurt them, you can only hurt the evil person. But then it's like, would the judge allow those people to interfere at all? If those two people can somehow get the judge to acknowledge that they're part of it, then they can fight as well, even if it's 3-on-1. Yeah. But it's like, just quickly, I had a bit of like, what laws can you invoke? Can you invoke laws of the world? Like, if a person's running really fast, can you invoke a law of, well, magic's not a thing, or gravity's a thing to stop a person jumping really far? There's loads of cool stuff. Hello, sir. How are you? So many stuff I thought of for making that power. That's what I'm basically going to be doing on my series next year. Good. we need to finish this thought. It's fine. I need to be up in 8 hours, but that's enough sleep for now. So, nice little discussion we've got. Yeah, you can send me some details, and I'll add it to the story thing later. It's all good. All good. So I did get up to... What duelist rank did I get up to? 12 in 4 hours. That's not too bad. I did do a lot of surrendering, though. There was a lot of pain in the ass. Well, so far, she doesn't really have much of a supporting cast, because she spends most of it alone, considering she has a need to devour things. She does eventually get, like, a couple of the heroes to assist her. Because, as it is stated, she's not exactly evil. It's the god themselves that is evil. But I haven't thought of many supporting cast yet. Because the first... Say if it was in book form, the first book would be just her getting her skills. And how they work. And then once she leaves the dungeon for the first time, is when she starts interacting with others. Which is a big problem for her, considering she looks like a giant monster at the beginning. But she doesn't realise it. So she has to go get a transformation skill to look vaguely human again. But then she forgets how she originally looked. Parasite folk being able to infect people. It's possible. Yeah, like they don't do it at first, but eventually they need to do it as a necessity. So many cool things you can do. I did make an intro at one point. Did I ever show you the intro I made as the precursor? The main character with the Devour skill, she's the only one who has it, as she is the apex human. And she can only get it from beasts. If I didn't send you this, I mean, I'll send you it if you like. It's the bit I did as the... how to describe it? The proof of concept. That would be cool. Yeah, I don't know if I sent you this, but I'll just send you it anyway. Yeah. This was my proof of concept before I added anything else. As like an intro of what the character is. Yeah, that's the only little bit I've written at the moment. It's not great, but it introduces the things like she can see menu screens and the devouring of people and stuff. I think it's kind of cool. Because for context, she's a highly religious lady at the beginning. And she thinks that being reborn there was a blessing from God, which it's not. Which hits her really hard, and that's the context of this. Of getting the Traitor of Humanity skill. Title, not skill. So it's not the best thing I've written, but I think it's pretty decent introduction. So I'll get myself off then. If you do have anything to say about it, just give it a post, give it a read. Have a see. I'll pick up on what you thought of it whenever you get a chance to write about it, but it'll be alright. Let's have a quick read here. A passive buff to stats, but then it's like the more that they devour, the stronger the boost becomes, but it affects their sanity, I suppose. Alright. Because I'll need to write a document for each character, just like one page, of how their rules work. Because I'll need to describe how Devourer works as well. It could just be simple enough to add. It could just be like via touch. Or fluid contact, which could be like blood or sweat or something. There's plenty of ways. We'll have a see. Because it is a magic-based world. Which means that that person who has the parasite thing might have other skills too. Unless you lock them to just the parasite things. Yeah, have a think. If you think of anything cool, post it to me. You can have a little bit of a read of the thing if you haven't already. It's not a massive paragraph, but you get the gist. And I'll see you next Friday for a nice long stream, good sir. See you later.